Hey Frank, it's Vinny. Frank, I'm calling in with the Wormhole Police Blotter for the week ending April 4th, 2021. Overall, we had a great fucking week, Frank. Our losses were pretty low. We had some really great encounters, and we came ahead for the week by a lot if you collectively ignore one loss. Now, our financial department reports 52 total kills. That's up 5 kills from last week. Frank, crime is on the rise. Crime is on the rise, and there's only so many of us. We suffered a total of 4 losses, with one being an off-duty officer. We removed a total of 3,373,000,000 ISK from the main streets of Wormhole space. This resulted in 3 inevitable losses, totaling 757 million ISK. Since our off-duty loss was somewhat significant, at over 2.5 billion, oh my goodness, we had a net ISK gain of only 96 million. All this week, Frank, I've been living out of a mobile depot and working undercover as Hobo Cop. My solo and group efforts filled the boot with over 133 million in illicit gear, loot collected and handed over to the Blood Raiders Children's Charity. On my journey as Hobo Cop, I tried living in a few different places. We started out in this wormhole with a static low sec, got fucked the very first day, no connections. From there, I was lucky and I moved into a C18 redoubt, one of those special wormholes, a C18, the redoubt wormhole. It's a drifter wormhole, and I was thinking, fuck, there's 82 goddamn SIGs in here. There's got to be lots of connections and lots of opportunities, but it ended up being that there was so much fucking scanning required to maintain life in such a wormhole that I fucking moved. And I moved daily for a couple of days until I finally settled into a nice C2 with a C4 high-sec set of statics. This hole has provided lots of content, linking me to some of the fucking best and worst in wormhole space. The nomadic hobo lifestyle, it has its challenges, but the rewards are many and they're not all financial, let me tell you. Now, as for the crew, we start off on Monday with a bit of drama. First thing in the week, you see Lucy. Lucy's well known for bringing cookies to the break room, pretty much daily. Well, on Monday, she shows up with no fucking cookies. I don't even eat these cookies because I heard a rumor that Lucy's Girl Scout cookies might be made from real Girl Scouts. So I don't eat the cookies. But everyone else fucking loves them. And she brings them so often to the point that they expect them every day. So she shows up on Monday with no fucking cookies and the whole place just laid on her. They gave her such a hard time. And she was feeling really fucking bad, bummed out, and she slips into the evidence locker. She grabs a plate of brownies that she'd noticed in there and drops them in the break room. I'm not sure if she knew they were laced with ecstasy or if she'd just conveniently forgotten that fact, but needless to say, by late in the afternoon, everyone's suffering from sexual regrets over the whole thing. I was forced to do something. Everybody's in my office, you gotta do something about Lucy, and I've had to bust her down to meter maid for the day. Just a one-day punishment, you're busted down to meter maid, Lucy. So, Delta Charlie, while he takes the top kill for the day with an Astero kill worth over 180 millions, it doesn't actually top what happened next. You see, Lucy stomps out of my fucking office and down to the motor pool to get the meter maid mobility scooter. Minutes later, I get a call from Joe down at the motor pool, and he says, Venny, Lucy's bolting guns to the meter maid mobility scooter. And I tried to have Joe disable the scooter's engines, but it was too fucking late. Lucy's off into spooker space with a meter maid mobility scooter with guns strapped on the fucking roof. She comes back with a dragoon kill that kinda smoothed over the little butthurt from the ecstasy-fueled nightstick depth contest. Everybody was really proud of Lucy's dragoon kill. Even though it wasn't worth very much, she got it done in a meter-maid mobility scooter, and we're all real proud of that. Now on Tuesday, it was all about Delta Charlie. He got out there in an Astero to take out a Procurer and its pod worth over 70 million ISK. You know, our Astero numbers are looking great so far for the month of April. Venny's in top 5 pilots, Mother Cluckers Corporation sitting at the number 2 spot, and the Wormhole Police Alliance settling in at a cozy number 3 on the leaderboard. Now, the Astero is a very, very competitive ship when it comes to the leaderboard. And we're really proud of these numbers. Really, really proud of these numbers. I'm still flying around in a Astero donated by Phil Asanari of Wrecking Crew. Currently, sporting 20 kill marks on that ship. We made it another week with it. We may make it another week still. Now, Wednesday, productive hump day. We took in over 566 million ISK for the day, with Lucy taking top value kill. Took down a Drake worth over 200 million ISK. Your typical hump day at the Wormhole Police. Thursday's report partially redacted. We've got a media blackout on some of what went down on Thursday, but I'm happy to report on my own kill worth 87 million ISK. One fat heron rolled into my hobo camp and just started wrecking the place. I was happy to add his corpse to the collection bin for the children's charity. Now, Friday had its ups and downs. Hightower, our man Viking Odinson. Hightower takes top spot with a low-value kill of a probe sporting T2 hacking modules and not much else. Not much else, freeballing it. That's what we call that. It ended with Bertman Oriki. He got killed in the line of duty by a violent porch pirate. This dirtbag Yersinia swoops in on an arrest in progress, kills the perp, attacks the officer in a predictable show of violence, all over a package worth under 10 million ISK, a crushing loss of 620 million for Bertman, putting us down for the day by over 600 million ISK. I tell you, these Ring wormhole cameras, I don't know if you've heard about them yet, but it's the newest thing. Ring wormhole cameras. You watch the advertisement for it, and the advertisement showing you people wondering who's at the fucking door. Well, that's not what these fucking cameras are really about. The Ring wormhole camera's really about catching fucking porch pirates. And they're stealing your fucking shit. That's what that thing's really about. Nobody cares who's at the fucking door. Anyway, it was a slow day on Saturdays. Weekends are usually busier. I find a pair of pilots putting the hurt on the local defenders in this wormhole. An attempt was made. It was a Gnosis and a Myrmidon, a pair of pilots, just murdering the local defenders to take their shit. An attempt was made on the Gnosis pilot. He was kind of fucked up. And I thought that maybe I could take him out solo with my Astero, but in the end I just wasn't able to break his reppers. So backup was called in the form of honorable third parties. Everyone was arriving just as the Gnosis pilot's preparing to salvage his last wreck. He warps off, he warps back, he thinks he's going to land on the wreck. He lands smack dab in the middle of a hollow asteroid. I'd never seen such a perfect asteroid tackle in my life. I tell you, if I didn't have dash cam footage of it, you'd call me a fucking liar. I'd call me a fucking liar. There's no way that just happens by fucking chance, but Bob was smiling on us that day. And just about the time this happens, everybody's arriving on scene. There wasn't gonna be a better time to get this job done. We got the Myrmidon sitting at a safe. The Gnosis stuck in the middle of a hollow asteroid. All parties were put in motion. I jumped in and grabbed that Gnosis with my trusty, dusty grab stero. It got finished off by one of our honorable third parties, and everybody quickly jumped back over to the Myrmidon to take that out as well. A pair of kills worth nearly 300 million ISK. I'm gonna grab the Gnosis now. I'm gonna need somebody with DPS on me. Vinny's taking hits. I need DPS at Vinny.
On Gnosis, Myrmidon is tackled.
Alright, I'm in the first hole, heading to the second.
Alright, I guess you head to that Myrmidon, put some DPS on it. Tomes has got my ass here. Alright, let me get my ECs in, heading out to the Myrmidon, so we're all heading to Gnosis safe. He was in the middle of that rock, Mr. Tomes.
Alright, so, what we're doing.
Your Gnosis safe.
Alright, got it.
Alright, got my dogs on. You still coming, Marco?
Yep, 8 jumps.
8 jumps? Oh boy, you're not gonna make it, buddy.
Not gonna make it. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I really blew it with the frig hole thing.
Oh, never mind. We're good.
Well, this worked out quite well. Gnosis worth 70 million.
I have to go into defensive mode. He's hit me.
Uh-oh.
Got him.
That's it for him. Let's get that pod. Got a lock on the pod. Oh, there it goes. Good job. And now we get to Sunday. Boy, Sunday started out bad. Late in the evening, off-duty officer. He's flying a Thunderchild. Now, this Thunderchild was donated by a friend of the Force, Trinket's friend. He's not playing currently, and he gave us his stuff is what he did. A significant donation, and part of the donation was this Thunderchild, which I gave to one of my officers earlier that day, I might add. Now, Trinket's friend's well known for a YouTube video he made. It's called Dick Virus. And not only is he famous for that YouTube video, but he also flies with the crew that run the Frugler Gate Camp. And our man, Jesus 3D, he flies into the fucking Frugler Gate Camp system with a Thunderchild worth 2.5 billion ISK. Needless to say, it didn't last long, but I found it incredibly ironic that the Thunderchild got fed back to the crew that donated it. In any case, things got better from there. Our morning crew comes across the New Jovian Collective, loitering, trespassing, and they had some illegal harvesting of Easter eggs going on. Now, an attempt was made to grab their Nurgle, but it slipped away, so we had to settle for an Astero. This pilot was tanked. I tell you, it took the hits like a man. Like a man, but boy were we just shocked to discover a white female behind the pilot seat once we finally destroyed that thing. We just hit it forever. It took nearly 7K damage, that Astero. Now, Rose Mad, she later admitted that she only died when her fucking reppers burned out. She could have kept going. Could have kept going. Unfortunately, XY, Zions, he wasn't able to make it out of that fight alive when their Kiki Morris showed up and got a hold of him. Nominal loss of over $130 million for XY's Astero. Now, this, of course, this led to a Class of Eve interaction with their CEO and some top-notch diplomacy. It ended in a donation of 11 Asteros to the Force, 32 hats, and we marked their hole as a no-go zone for the day. Just a one-day no-go zone. Paranoia Overload was the corporation with the New Jovian Collective as the alliance. After this incredible, generous donation of 11 Asteros to the Force, they undocked in a fleet of battle herons to bring the pew to the party. You know, all those battle herons were destroyed without any officer losses. But we have a very, very high level of respect for this crew, and we do send our love. The Wormhole Police send our love to New Jovian Collective. They've promised to show up for our graduation ceremony. Coming up on April 17th, we'll invite everyone to come to Wormhole Space. Come to Spooky Space and kill the police. We hope you come. And we can certainly expect the New Jovian Collective to come by, since they are a sponsor of the event with their donation of 11 Asteros to the Force. Sunday ends with Zions taking top spot for the day. Boy, he worked hard. XY worked hard on Sunday all day long. He didn't stop, and he ended up the day with a Stratios kill worth over 300 million ISK. Now, Frank, I'm sorry it was a long report, but we've been fucking busy. As I said in the beginning, crime's on the motherfucking rise. The crooks are everywhere. There's not enough of us to take them out. And we're all getting ready for fucking Mother's Day, I think is what comes next. God damn motherfucking Mother's Day. In any case, Frank, this wraps up the Wormhole Police Report. You have a great fucking week, my man. Love ya.